Hey guys, Amber here with A Meeple Family, and I am going to be vlogging today. I'm a little bit under the weather, so probably just going to be filming my table. And this is typically where I play board games at. I inherited this table. I've had it for a super long time, and I've always got my little companions here, my gaming companions. And I love having a view outside as I game, get some natural light. But I am first going to be playing Hutan, Life in the Rainforest. I just bought this one. I really like it. I am a huge sucker for these like scenarios that come out or that they put in the back of the rule book, and AEG and Flat Out Games do this a lot, and I have noticed that the Op Games is doing this as well. I loved, and I'm still working through the scenarios of Aqua, but this is just a completely different placement strategy system. Obviously, we have our amazing artist here. Incredible artwork by Mr. Vincent Dutre. Love it. And I am gonna work through. I've only played, just to get the hang of the game, I've done the solo rules, and I am a humongo nerd, and I made myself a player aid because I didn't have anything, and I found that I was just flipping through the rule book. So I was just like, forget this. I'm just gonna type something up so that I can remember all the little placement rules and kind of, I kept forgetting things. All right, so I am gonna get started, and I'll see if I can't let you guys know how I did. I still need to get these cards out. Where'd I put those? Right here. So I put them in numerical order, kind of like I would awkward guess, but there's only 24 and not 250. And I'm gonna pull out 2, 3, 4, 13, and 22. All right, so I have my different achievement cards pulled out, and I really like, they've got an excellent reference system here. So for our first ones, it's score 3 points for each completed area using only flowers of the color shown on the card. So we're gonna wanna go for a yellow, blue, and I think what is a gray color. And then we also have number 13, where are you? Right here. Okay, score 2 points for each animal you have in any of the 2 space areas on your board. And then we have 22. Choose one of the 5 color flowers, score 4 points for each of your 4 rainforest boards with at least 1 area completed in that color. Okay, so that's like an I choose. That's interesting. Okay, so I'm gonna leave that open because I'm probably gonna forget all those. I'm not super familiar with them all. In this scenario, it actually told me how to place my board. So that is based on these little colored dots, which direction they're facing. So you can see these are the sections of 2 here that I want to try to place an animal on, and I will score 2 additional points for each of those that I do. But I am gonna get started. In the solo game, you start by removing 16 cards from the deck. Then you're going to draw 3 cards at a time and choose 1 to keep, discarding the others. When you place flowers, they all need to be grouped together and placed orthogonally, one next to the other. New flowers you add, except of course for your first turn, must connect to the ones you've already placed. I feel like this is where the strategy really kicks in, since the flowers on one card you pick must be placed together. You're always looking for the best ways to optimize your layout. Once you stack 2 flowers of the same color on top of one another, you can then place a tree. When your entire area is filled with trees, the last tree you place allows you to add an animal matching that habitat's color. From there, the animal lets you fertilize the 4 adjacent orthogonal spaces, which can then help you grow the crucial second flower needed for another tree, or even give you that first foundational flower. It creates some really fun combo opportunities as you build out your board, and I absolutely love it. I don't know about you guys, but these are my absolute go-to games when I don't feel well. I'm not somebody that really likes to veg out, like playing games digitally, which would honestly be great because when I'm sick, sometimes that's all the energy that I'm able to like put forth is, pressing a screen. But For this game in particular and a couple others like this, it's really not too overwhelming to set up. I just kind of leave it out and I'll casually play a game here or there as I have the energy to do so, and it always helps me feel a little bit better even when I'm unwell. All right, so I completed my first scenario. I believe I got 81 points and you needed 75 to win. So I'm moving on from that. And I've gone ahead and I'm setting up for the B scenario. So I needed 6, 7, 9, 15, and 17. And you can see the diagram here corresponds with where I have these dots positioned so that I am playing in the right orientation. And let's take a look at these achievements. So for these 3 here, we have to score 2 points for each tree that we have on flowers of that respective color. And then for these 2, we are looking for every lake on the board and scoring 1 point for every adjacent tree. And then over here, we're looking for basically our largest grouping, and we're gonna score 1 point for each tree in that grouping. So let's see how I do. I'm sure you guys are well aware that this video is in hyperspeed and I don't actually play this fast, and maybe you're wondering, how long does a session of this game take? Well, I was able to actually figure that out because I recorded myself, and my first one was a little over 10 minutes, and this one is actually a little over 9 minutes. So it's a very quick session to play if you're looking for a quick puzzly tile placement strategy game. Now, I'll stop bothering you with these annoying voiceovers and just let you enjoy the ambiance of the playthrough. All right, here is my view of the board so you can kind of see what this looks like. It's just beautiful. I will say setting this game up is a little bit of maintenance. You have to put all these trees together, and then I had a little trouble putting the box insert together, but it's so nice once you have it. I wish every board game sent you cardboard pieces like this to just kind of make your own board game insert. I noticed the app's been doing that and it's just really nice, but let me count this up and then we will see where I'm at. All right, so I ended up with 104 for that particular score, which is insane. I'm not really sure how I did so well. It must just be, that's like my highest score personally, so I'm pretty pumped about it. Although if you look at the solo like achievement side, like where they give you different rankings, it's not really that good, but for me, that was a pretty good game. I only needed 80 to head on to scenario C. I'll probably save that for tomorrow. Well, hopefully this gives you kind of a look at how I do solo play. I will see if I play any more games. If not, this will be a very short sick day vlog. But yeah, maybe I'll be back with something else in a little while. Well, what do you know? I'm back with something else here, and it's been a little while, and I am going to play Café Baras. The problem is, I have not played this game for some time. So I went to get the box out, and obviously, my kids had last played it. They like to take this one over to their grandma's house, and they really enjoy playing this with her. I realized that the solo game is actually online and not in the box. So once I figured out kind of how the solo game works, which is very, very simple, I then had to go back and refresh myself on how the actual game plays. So for the game, you are going to put out these special visitors, and there's going to be 5 of those, and then you're going to have 4 cafe cards, just like the normal game. You're going to start with 7 coins, and then you're going to draw a hand of 4 cards from the top of the deck. Now, here's the interesting thing. Oh, and you also get that little character down there. I think mine says been there, done that. They're all like little puns and they're adorable, of course. So just to give you a quick rundown on how the turn works. So you have these 4 cards and you have to decide either to pay coins to play one into your cafe and have like a permanent resource. And sometimes there's like special abilities, which honestly I kept forgetting to read and was totally missing that. But the important thing I want to tell you here is regardless of what you do, whether you play a card or fulfill a customer order based on the icons you have in your cafe, you then have to refill from the 4 face-up cafe cards. And when you play solo, depending on what cafe card you take, you have to discard the left and right from the empty space that you left where you took a card. I could not remember for the life of me to do this. So you're going to see that I actually restart this game at least 3 times, trying to remember to discard these cards. The game is so quick and rhythmic that I absolutely kept forgetting that crucial step because there are 2 endgame conditions, which is to either have 4 permanent customers or returning customers, which basically means that you were able to match every single icon that they wanted. And the other end condition for the solo mode is if you run out of cards for the deck. So obviously, not discarding these cards basically ruins the whole game when you play solo. So I decided to spare you all of my other resets, and as you can see, the lighting has changed because, well, life happened, and now it's nighttime. I decided to give this game one more go because I never could, during my daytime plays, remember to do the discarding that this game really requires when you're playing solo. So I really made it a point to remember it, and I finally got a full game in, but I still missed a lot of other things. This game actually has a lot going on, and it is much more than meets the eye. I haven't played this in quite some time, so I really enjoyed refreshing myself on how the game worked, but I couldn't believe how much you have to keep track of and how enormous your cafe tableau area gets. Every card you play into your tableau has some kind of text on it for the most part. I would say at least 80% of the cards do. Some of them are things you can do right in the moment. Some of them are ongoing rewards. So I didn't really find a good system for organizing my tableau, which meant that I was forgetting a lot of these steps, but I still had so much fun playing regardless of the fact that I probably missed a lot of awesome points and bonuses along the way. Now, if I figured out my score correctly, I think I ended up with about 68 points, which is meh. I don't think I did that great, but like I said, I missed a lot of the bonuses and all that kind of stuff along the way. But for me, this was just a wonderful time while I'm a little bit under the weather, to say the least. And this was an easy one to get to the table. The decision space is so quick and easy because literally you look at your 4 cards and you're deciding, do I need income? So what can I do to serve a customer? Or do I have enough money to add a new icon into my cafe. So it makes for a really easy decision space, very easy solo, if you can of course remember to do the discarding. Look at all this beautiful artwork. I mean, come on guys, this is so well done. It's like a little touch of creature comforts on my table in a much more approachable format. All right, it is time to pack this one up, and I'm actually feeling okay at this point, so I was like, I think I have one more game in me. So I went off to find my next game, but before I do, I've got to give you a quick look at my little pup down here. I told you guys they're always by me. But yes, this is a really long one. I think it's the Lord of the Ring, the Fellowship of the Ring trick-taking game, and I have really been enjoying going through this solo. They have like a solo version of the campaign that you can go through where you're basically playing a trick-taking game with all the cards face up and all the knowledge, but you only have a limited of cards that you can see at any given time. So after every trick, a new card is dealt out. Also, every character you're playing has special objectives. So with the limited information you do have, you're trying to make the best decisions you can at the time. And if you're wondering what's going on with that one character, well, in the solo game, you have to deal him 9 cards, and then he kind of spreads those out amongst the other people playing, so that's what's going on there. For this particular chapter, I am on chapter 4, and I don't think you should have any spoilers here, but every chapter you play, it unlocks new characters, and as you unlock new characters, they have different objectives. When you look at a chapter card, they're going to put a star by certain characters that have to play, but then you can decide who else you want to add to the adventure you're going on. Well, I still didn't pass chapter 4, and actually I could tell I was getting quite tired and run down at this point because I totally botched some rules that I normally never mess up, so I decided to call it a night. But I just wanted to say thank you guys so much for joining me on this quick little sick day vlog. These are the games I chose to play, and I really appreciate you being here. I hope you guys have a great rest of your day.